Hello and welcome to my very first Blender tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a TARDIS base in Blender. Now what you're going to want to do first is just delete the cube and add a cylinder. Now if you want to make um, a console first, you're going to want to change this vertices thing to 6 sides. Of course, it doesn't have to be 6 sides. It could be 4, 5, doesn't matter. But I usually prefer using 6 sides. Scale it however you want to, and then go to Edit Mode, click the Faces thing right here, click the top face, and shrink it to any desirable size. I'm just gonna keep like that. And then raise it to whatever height you want it to be. Now, for me, I usually go with something like this. And then, done with the top part of the console. Now, I'm usually fancy about this, so I just go to Set Origin to Center of Mass. Next, I raise it to my preferred height. And then, I add another cylinder, shrink it down. And perfect. Because you don't want it to look like some sharp shape thing. And for me, because I'm sometimes lazy with this kind of stuff, either duplicate this or not add another cylinder. But that's what I'm gonna do right here. So I duplicate it, rotate it over the x-axis 180 degrees, and if I don't get it exact, I can always type it here, and there we go. And then bring it to the bottom. And of course, this is the bottom part of the console, so Captain Obvious plays a role. There you have it, a turtle shell console. Next, what you're going to want to do is add a time rotor. And turn the 6 into 32, or however many sides you want the rotor to have. Press Enter. Shrink it down to the preferred size. Put it in the middle of the console. And then scale it by the z-axis to whatever size you want it to be. Now I'm just going to stick with this size because this is a tutorial, and I'm not actually making an interior. But I'm hoping that others watching this will one day make their own interior and share their own creativity via either YouTube or whatever other media. You know how people like doing that. Alright, shutting up now. The next thing you want to do is, if you want to make the bottom kind of thing for the Toyota console room, you're going to need another few cylinders. Gonna make those tinier. Shrink those. And ring 1 is there. And duplicate it. Shrink it down a bit. And there you go. What I like to do, though, I like to do it on both top and bottom. So, in a bit I'm going to show you an interesting part of this. So, stay tuned. And, of course, I have to duplicate this again. And then what we have is the top of the console having the rings around the time rotor. Now, the fun part is coming in right about now. See, what you're going to want to do to make it more logical, if you're ever planning on putting this into a game, you're going to need to cut a hole into the console itself using this cylinder right here. How to do that? is by picking whichever shape you want to do that with, which should be majority of the shapes you just added other than the time rotor. And going to the little wrench here, or whatever that is, clicking the add modifier button.
So those rare decals can be colored.
Anyways, clicking the
like colored decals.
Clicking the seriously?
What?
I'm busy with this.
That's cool. It's like really fucking nice.
What are you talking to?
I'm making a screencast. Anyways, gonna want to have a difference and with cylinder 3 or whichever object that is. And then I'm going to want to apply that, and it cuts a hole into it. Now, if you don't want it to do all that glitchy stuff, you can just increase the size until it doesn't happen. Next thing, you don't have to do this, but you can join the meshes that are the rings. So that way, you can just, I guess, make a hole all at once with them. So, do so as you should have already done with this block right here. And of course, difference with cylinder 3. And then apply. And there you go. You can increase the size of that, and then you're good with the first two parts and the ring itself. Next, go to do the same thing for every other object. Alrighty, and that should be all the meshes. Now to make it into a glass, the time rotor glass, I'm going to go into materials, click new, and of course, I forgot the most important step. Go to Cycles Render. Of course, if you want to see its transparency in Cycles Render, you're going to have to do this in Blender Render first, and then switch over to Cycles Render. Now, in Material Mode, you can already see that it's transparent, but as soon as we go into Cycles Render, it won't be. But that can be easily fixed. Simply click Use Nodes, of course, expand this, and go to Node Editor with the bottom panel. Now what you're going to do, delete this, and then add the following. You're going to need 3 mix shaders. Alright. Next, a glass node and a refraction node, and finally a transparent node. Now what you're going to want to do with this, the glass node first. Change the roughness to 0.25 and the IQR to 0.25. I have no idea what either of those mean, but doing it in this process has helped me a lot because someone had suggested it to me. And then we go to refraction, change 1.45 to 0.25, and we leave the roughness for it alone. Now the top mix shader should be changed to 0.005. The bottom one should be 0.025. and the final one should be 0.691. Alright, what's going to want to do here, connect this here, connect the mix shader for 0.005 to the transparent BSDF, and the top part of the node for the last mix shader, and then connect the transparent to the bottom node. And see, it's transparent. And now, what you're going to want to do here is the refraction goes on the top node of the 0.005 mix shader, and the 0.025 connects to the bottom node. And then the glass node connects to the top or bottom mix shader, top or bottom nodes of the mix shader 4.025. And then, once all that is done, you can go into rendered view and complete glass. Now you can use the rendered and material view because of the transition between Blender render and Cycles render. And that's how you make a base console. Thank you for watching.